Hello, Mr. Randy Duck, and welcome back for another video. Today I've got two replays to show you in the Tier 8 French Premium Heavy Tank, the Liberté FCM 50T. Now this was a tank which is on the recent earn up, so I imagine a lot of you have earned this tank, or if you haven't, you're starting to see quite a few of them in the matchmaking lobbies. It has preferable matchmaking. So at worst, you're going to see +1 matchmaking. So the highest you're going to see is those tier 9 tanks, and it is an absolute beast of a tank. It's one of those tanks which, to be honest with you, it doesn't actually need pref matchmaking. It really doesn't. Like, you're just as capable as most of the other tier 8 tanks. You've got an incredible DPM. 240 alpha, and you've really got fantastic DPM, good mobility. They've actually buffed the armour recently, so you can bounce the odd shots. It's not an armour you reliable bounce stuff on, but you can bounce the odd shots. You're very heavy, so you can ram tanks. And honestly, this tank is fantastic. It received a couple of buffs, to the armour. I think at one point it got buffed to the gun as well, and it never really needed it. It was one of those tanks I was like, why have they buffed this? I'm not too sure this needed a buff. But, it's in the lobby and it is fantastic, especially if you get bored of playing tier 10 games at bottom tier all the time. You can come in the one which is got that pref matchmaking. So here we are on our first map here on Cliff. And we pushed quite aggressively to a position, as you can see, to get shots at everything crossing. I was sort of able to do this because no one really pushed the centre of the map, and all the team are starting to sort of go round. So I'm trying to get shots into this Tiger P. I go for the track. With this good DPM, you can actually keep stuff. If you haven't got a good crew, you can actually keep them permo tracked in place. I should have to finish on the Tiger here, but unfortunately I get a bit unfortunate and actually ricocheted that shot. I might have a second go at it and we bounce again, but now the enemy team have kind of pushed right round this sort of ridge line, and I need to try and turn and deal with this situation to get the damage in quickly. Otherwise I'm going to end up with all sorts of bother. So we're trying to focus one tank just to try and get rid of his tanks as quickly as possible, get those guns out of the game. We get the Tiger out of the game. We now focus this T32, but I've got a medium tank who's actually starting to push, and it looks like he's going to try and get shots into the back of us. So I'm trying to move to get a bit safer from that tank, so it's a little bit harder while focusing on the heavy tanks in front of us. Unfortunately for me, he is now getting shots in. I'm trying to get the T32 low, but I've got to move because this medium tank's just going to kill me if I don't. So I'm pulling back round so he can't shoot at me, and he's going to have to commit to me if he's going to kill me, allow me to get shots into him if he does. And he actually just full sends over this ridge, which is going to allow me to get shots into this tank. He is getting shots into us in return, but we're keeping ourselves safe from the other enemy guns and just only allowing this tank to shoot us at the moment. We get one shot in there, put him onto a one shot, and he gets shot down by our friendly teammates, which now frees us up to deal with these heavies and tanks in front of us. But you can see how quickly you can just get that damage going in this tank. That 240 alpha and then less than 5 second reload. You just absolutely, you can just tear tanks' hit points away here. So we get shot into T32. We get a fortunate ricochet there for the sort of extreme angle. Medium tank commits to us, gets one in, and they're able to take him out, putting us on to just shy of 4,000 damage with 2 kills and about 500 assistance. We were just waiting to see if these tanks are going to push out, but it doesn't look like they are, so I'm probably thinking at this point I'm probably just going to have to push in. I'm just checking there wasn't any other tanks sort of coming behind me before I made the play, and I was kind of hoping, I think, for the T32 just to expose itself, but that's not going to happen. I'm just going to have to push forward. I can eat a shot, but I am low hit points, so I don't really want to eat another shot if I don't have to, so I'm taking it quite cautiously. We get one into medium, and he actually misses, putting both of the tanks onto a one shot now. I'm just going to try and get round and get a shot in. We killed a medium tank before he escaped, and now we're going to be able to reload in time to kill this T32 as well. Picking up another kill, putting us onto 4 kills, 4,000 damage and 500 assistance with only one tank remaining there. So in the end the game come to a bit of a landslide at the end, but to be honest with you, we did well to keep ourselves alive in that position there and not sort of panic when that medium tank came behind us, because we was really kind of holding the enemy team and stopping them making their advance really. We're just trying to find this lighter tank in the hope that we can get an extra kill in this game and get a bit more damage. We don't really know exactly where he is, but he does actually just kills himself, so we're not able to get any more damage, which is a shame. It's always a shame when the enemy team just don't fight at the end, but not much you can do about that. But there we go, we get the first class, we get the high caliber, that's it, and then for the replay number 1. And let's move on to the final replay of the video. Okay, so here we are for the final replay then on steps. There is 2 fun police in the game and an enemy light tank. From this spawn on the steps, I'm going to push down this sort of line and try and clear this out as quickly as you can. Quite often you find, since this sort of adjusted spawns on steps now, that a lot of the enemy tank will go the opposite side of the map, and in that case I'm going to try and win this side as quickly as I can, so I can then either make a decision of, do I have to keep pushing into their base and try and get behind the enemy team, or do I return and defend the base. But the first thing I'm going to do is clear out this line so that we've at least tried to win one area of the map. It looks like a lot of our enemy team have friendly team have gone that way as well. So I only have a couple of tanks coming with us, but we do have 2 fun police with us as well. So if we spot anything in the base, sort of camping in the back, hopefully the fun police will have shots at them, and maybe we can pick up a bit of assistance and they can help us out, and we can work together to take out those tanks. So I push quite aggressively. As you see, I do actually run, as far as equipment goes on this tank, I run optics reloader, but then I also run the traction system to get the extra bonus to the top speed, because then you can actually get this tank to go to like 56 kilometers an hour, and I find the gun's accurate enough anyway that you don't really need the stabs, and that extra 6 kilometers an hour can be quite handy when you're trying to push to locations and chase that early bit of damage. As well as a tank that this is pretty heavy, so if you get more top speed and you do get to ram someone, you can do quite a lot of damage. So I waited to lose the spot so we don't get shot by the fun police, but now I'm pushing up because it looks like a lot of the enemy team have sort of pushed to contest our friendly team on the other side of the map, and I need to try and push the pace so we can get in and help. An enemy Hellcat does get spotted though on the way. I don't turn to just fight that tank because I've already committed on the push, and I don't want to be getting shot, by the artillery in this KV2 while I'm doing that. I'm just hoping the Hellcat will get contested by our heavy tank who's pushing him, so he stops him getting shots into the back of us while we're to try and deal with these tanks. So we managed to get there. Unfortunately, we don't take any damage in return, and then we're able to punish that enemy Hummel there, forcing him to take cover so he can no longer shoot us when he's behind this cover. And we're just going to try and push up now to see if we can deal with that KV2. The Hummel gets taken down by our friendly fun police there. We spot an ISM who's also in the base. We get a nice shot into him. Now we're going to back up from this KV2. Thankfully for me, he's only shooting the HE. He's not able to pen us with the heat. And so he's only really splashing us there. But then we get pushed by this IS-3 as well. It does have 10 degrees of gun depression, this tank, so you're able to actually use these ridge lines quite well. He actually managed to absorb that shot from the IS-3 there, which is good. And now we managed to just bait that shot, which just hit low into that dirt. And you can see how quickly we can get our shots in between their reload. And very, very quickly we've taken away all the health of that IS-3 there. Get a nice shot into the TD to help our team out on the other side, and now we're just going to try and keep this pace going and push to see if we can get rid of this IS-3, because we've lost the other side of the map, which means I need to win this side quickly, and then I can probably go back to defend the base. IS-3 gets shut down by our Guardian, and we pick up a bit of track assistance there. And now we're going to try and deal with this KV2 from earlier. We should be able to kill him pretty quickly. We lose another one for HE damage, and he damages our gun. But hopefully we can kill this tank now before he's able to get really into any cover. But he actually gets shut down by our Guardian SDG anyway, so we don't have to worry ourselves about that. And now we can focus on this ISM from earlier, using these ridge lines to get our damage in. We're having a pretty decent game. We're on 4,000 damage. Picked up a kill, but we're getting shot by this Lance and C there. We're going to poke up this ISM's a one shot, get a shot into this, then try and get safe from that Lancer as quickly as we can. He is going to potentially get another shot into us, but we managed to bounce that shot, and we get a smallest of shots into return, putting them on 2 or 1 shot and bring this game into a 6v6. But we've lost the other side of the map, so you have a decision to make at this point. Do you cap out, or do you return back to the base and try and defend the base. So I'm going to return back to the base and try and defend it, because I think that's the better option. If I don't go over there, we could risk getting capped out. But on the way over, we spot this IS-3 in the middle, and our light tank's gone in to engage him. We're going to go and help our light tank, because hopefully while this IS-3's turned, trying to deal with our light tank, we're able to get shots in. Unfortunately, he does take out a light tank, but he has shot, and we should be able to kill this IS-3. We can afford to eat one shot, but we're getting shot by the enemy fun police as well now. We get one in. We unfortunately don't roll high enough to kill him, but we will be able to kill him now, and we do take care of that threat, putting it into a 4 versus 3. But I need to try and get safe, because the enemy fun police obviously were shooting at us earlier, knows our location, trying to lose the spot. We do lose our spot. We're just trying to avoid this shot, and unfortunately that fun police hits us. They're putting us onto one shot to all the tanks remaining, and that as well as damaging our ammo rack. So that's really not ideal, because there's a full health Scourge we just spotted over there. So I can't really go in for a one-on-one brawl now, but it's just because he's so healthy, and I've only got 100 hit points left, so I'm not really going to win that engagement. We're having a good game, 5,400 damage, 700 assistance, with 1,000 blocked with 3 kills. But we need to go back and try and find a different route. I didn't want to engage that Scourge one-on-one. I'm kind of thinking the enemy TD was going to start the cap, and that's only a tier 6 tank. So I was going to go back round and try and see if we can get ready to get a reset if they do decide to go into the cap circle. We have a friendly fun police with us, so anything we spot up will potentially get shot at. But the enemy team have got in the cap, and both teammates have got in the cap, so that does at least give us a bit of information that we know where exactly the whole enemy team are now, and we know they're not pushing our friendly fun police, so we can spot them up. If our fun police can get ready and start hard aiming at that cap, hopefully he might be able to get a reset, because it's going to be awkward for us to poke, being that we are one shot. But we're going to have to go for it, because the time is ticking, and the enemy team are going to win this game if we don't get a reset in. So this is going to be a little bit awkward now. So we're going to try and see if we can get a poke, but the time's ticking, and I'm thinking if the fun police doesn't hit, we're going to have to get this reset in. 6 seconds left. We're going to try and get one in. Thankfully, we bounced one off that TD, and we're able to get the reset in, which just buyed us a little bit more time to play with now, and allowed our friendly tanks who wasn't there to now get close enough to help us out, and they take out that TD. Now it relieves all the pressure now we can just take our time trying to get shots into this enemy heavy tank, and we don't have to risk our tank. If he looks for us, we can just turn and just duck back down this ridge while trying to get as much damage in as you can. So he's turning for us now. We just fall back down and let our other teammate get shots in, and then when we poke up, we should be able to get the kill, bringing this an end to the video and a replay. So let's just see how we finished that one off. We got 4 kills, 6,000 damage. I think we picked up about, I think it was like 1,000 assistance, about 800 assistance, and we get the ace tanker and the high caliber. So that is an end for the video. Like I say, the Liberté is a fantastic tank, definitely worth picking up. And as always, thank you so much for your support, and happy tanking.
Hadouken!